Hello everyone, my name is MrJepthah, and are you ready for some football?
Are you ready for some football?
I bet you guys never realized I was a football fan. Football has always been my favorite sport. The mix of the physicality, speed, and chess-like strategy elements rolled up in one have always been fascinating to me since I was a little baby.
And of course, being the big football fan that I am, the Super Bowl has always been one of my favorite holidays. It's so much more than just a bunch of commercials and a halftime show with a bunch of talentless people. I said what I said. It's about the two best teams in the sport duking it out to see who the best in the world is.
And of course, with such a big holiday, you can always count on your old friend Charlie Brown to have a holiday special for it. I feel like there's a peanut special for everything, and then I realized they still haven't done You're a Grown Man, Charlie Brown. They've done specials for Christmas, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Valentine's Day, Christmas, Arbor Day, Christmas, and they even did one for the Super Bowl. You're in the Super Bowl, Charlie Brown was broadcast on NBC January 18th, 1994, and it would be legendarily known as the only Peanuts cartoon premiered on NBC, as before they had almost exclusively been premiering on CBS. But the exception was made as they worked with the NFL on this one to coincide with Super Bowl 28, which was on NBC. It wasn't a good game in case you were wondering. Incidentally, this would be the last Peanuts special that would air before Charles Schulz passed away 6 years later in 2000. This movie indeed had a VHS release, but only at Shell gas stations, oddly enough, so it was a pretty exclusive title that still has yet to be re-released. It has seemingly disappeared from the Charlie Brown mythos. So how did I grow up with this? My brother Pladley and I borrowed this movie from the library quite a few times, and so much of this has been ingrained in my brain. In fact, to my knowledge, this video may very well have been the first time I ever ironically loved something because it was so bad it's good. And me and my brother had a great time making fun of it back in the day.
So today I'm gonna revisit this classic from my childhood and see if it's as bad as I remember it being. Because I remember it being pretty bad.
The movie opens with the B-plot. At least I think this is the B-plot. Snoopy is the head coach of a football team of Woodstock and all of his brethren, as throughout the movie we see them take on a variety of larger animal teams. You know the announcer guy is probably the best part of this whole bit.
By the way, here's a bit of trivia. They are about to play on the same field where the Weevils squashed the Roaches way back in '78. You can actually feel the history.
That's not saying much. So game number one shows us the Birds versus the Cats. Wait, NFL? The dude just said it was the AFL.
Just before the big game that will decide the Eastern Division champs of the AFL, that's the Animal Football League.
Which was an actual thing. Did the NFL really sign off on this? I mean, I guess they've signed off on worse in the past. So the tiny birds versus the giant cats. I'm sure you see where this is going. Of course, the birds dominate. Haven't you ever seen a Tweety Bird cartoon? Tiny yellow birds are supernaturally able to destroy cats. But that's not all. These birds have funny names.
And Grabowski grabs it. He fakes to Kowalski, and Grabowski hands off to Wisniewski, who you recall is still recovering from a fractured feather he sustained in that no-holds-barred melee against the mice in St. Louis last month.
I'm not gonna lie, this opening scene starts out very funny to me. And the animators definitely hope you think so, because you will be seeing these same exact clips
Over and over and over and over and over and over and over.
Even the second drive of this game is the exact same as the first. The only thing that's different is the commentator's commentary, which is the only thing here that continues to be funny.
The birds kick off again, and pow, only 8 more lives for that cat.
And the voice of said commentator is Steve Stolaire, who is most famous for his role as news announcer, townspeople, and Mr. Twitchell's goons in Frosty Returns. Okay, I'm gonna level with you. I actually think he does a great job, and his announcer voice is pretty great here. But he's an adult in a Charlie Brown cartoon. Why isn't he talking like a horn? Also, if this special was produced by the NFL, was it not at all possible to get an actual NFL personality for this thing? Imagine if Pat Summerall and John Madden was calling this game.
The left goes to the right goes to the left. This guy crosses here, he crosses here. They have no idea where we are, who we are, where we're coming from, or who we're throwing to.
Very interesting.
So, of course, the punchline is that the birds destroy the cats because of cartoon rules. We get a Chirp Aid ad.
Refreshing tub of Chirp Aid, the delicious drink that quenches your thirst and leaves your coat looking shiny and manageable.
And then we find out Charlie Brown is a 49ers fan, Linus is a Rams fan, and Snoopy is a Patrick Mahomes fan. Since this is a football-themed Charlie Brown video, we of course get the iconic Lucy holds the football for Charlie Brown to kick it, but she pulls it away and he flies high in the sky and lands on his back and kills himself. But before he can swing his leg back, Peppermint Patty runs up and tells them all about a punt, pass, and kick contest where the first place prize is a new bicycle.
Well, I guess that's cool, but it just sounds like the contest runners are just too cheap to buy anything really that great.
And a trip to the Super Bowl.
What? Who was able to afford Super Bowl tickets to give to some random kids who can throw or kick a football?
Let's see that. Wow! A new bicycle and a trip to the Super Bowl.
She already said that, dude.
Whoever wins here gets a chance to be in the finals at the Super Bowl.
You can tell the writers and animators didn't have a lot to do here, so they just inserted random seconds with nothing whatsoever. Or maybe that's just how some friend groups are.
Hey, did you guys watch the big game the other day?
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
Well, I've got to get ready for the big punt, pass, and kick contest so that I can try to win a new bike and a chance to go to the curling championship.
Wow, I heard that contest gives you a chance to win a new bike and a chance to go to the curling championship.
Yep.
Let's keep padding the runtime.
I'm not sure I'd want to go to the Splendid Bowl, sir. Super Bowl, Marcy.
Yeah, stop being such an idiot, Marcy, you dumb idiot. We then see Charlie Brown and Linus practicing for the contest. And I've gotta say, Charlie Brown might not be able to kick a football, but look at my man throw. Dude's like Uncle Rico out there. Oh my goodness, even Linus has got a great arm. Wow, maybe one day when they grow up, they'll be NFL quarterbacks with that kind of arm talent at 7 years old. And then we cut to find out that Linus was only standing a couple of feet away.
He did it! He finally did it after all these years! Charlie Brown finally kicked a football! Can you believe it?
Unbelievable!
Linus recovers Charlie Brown's punt and notices a stalker is watching them. But it doesn't creep him out like it would me. He just sees a cute little redhead girl, not that one, and doesn't sense her more sinister motives. So they go over and make her acquaintance and explain to her what they are doing.
We're practicing for the punt, pass, and kick contest.
Which is how I introduced myself to my wife when I first met her.
Hey babe, my name is MrJepthah, and I was just about to burn some dude's house down for not paying back the loan shark that I work for. Wait, in a video game!
My name is Melody.
Melody. That's actually a pretty cool name. That gives me a new rebranding idea.
Hello everyone, my name is MrJepthah, and today, we're gonna see how many Pop-Tarts I can fit in my mouth all at once.
I've been watching you.
So of course we got a little love triangle going here with Charlie Brown and Linus pining after the little redhead girl. Except it's not the same little redhead girl that we all know that he's already in love with, and it's not the same little redhead girl who calls him Brownie Charles. So Charlie Brown is in fact cheating on the little redheaded girl with another little redheaded girl again. I wonder if he has a type. They go out for ice cream in the cantina from Casablanca instead of training for the big contest, so if they lose the contest in the end, don't be surprised. Also, it's Charlie Brown, he's not gonna win it anyway.
Adult hand! Adult hand! There's an adult hand in my Peanuts cartoon! I don't like that.
Well, I think you can do it. I'll be rooting for you. Melody. I think you're the most beautiful little girl I've ever seen.
You do realize she was just flirting with Charlie Brown just a second ago, right? She did it right in front of you and everything. Oh great, we're back to this whole thing. So now the birds are facing the dogs. The joke here, if you can call it that, is the birds have the same names as classic football players.
Namath catches the ball and hands it off to Unitas. Unitas hands off to Zonka, and those poor pooches are outwitted one more time.
Why are kids watching a bunch of birds and dogs play football?
Wouldn't you if you could?
Well, that's a good point.
Snoopy betrays his kind and gets another chirp aid bath.
And remember, Chirp Aid is all natural, so you can feel free to go au natural.
Excuse me?
Now we go to the punt, pass, and punt contest, with Woodstock giving us a very important message. Get off your couch, you dumb kids, and exercise! Charlie Brown and Linus fight over the girl, which is more common in Charlie Brown cartoons and comics than you might realize.
Maybe she's watching me, Linus. I, too, aspire to win the bicycle and go to the Super Bowl. I explained to her how we were training. And she said she was sure I could win.
These dead air beats just keep getting funnier and funnier.
Lucy goes first, sporting an Oakland Raiders helmet, which honestly makes sense that she would be an Oakland fan, given that, well, you know, it's Lucy. She throws it 12 feet, which is something, I think. She punts the ball straight up and it lands on her head and rolls backwards. So now it all makes sense why she picks on Charlie Brown with the football. It's because of her own insecurities and her lack of being able to kick herself, and that causes her to want to humiliate Charlie Brown and making him think that he can't kick either. It all makes so much sense now. 5 cents, please. Franklin comes out in a Houston Oilers helmet, and hey, he's got a good arm on him too, as he slings the pigskin
27 feet, 6 inches!
and then he punts the ball. Why is this field so small? The little kid yelling says that he kicks it
60 feet and 2 inches!
but if you were to count up the field lines, it's actually 45 yards. I should probably stop harping on this point because the inconsistencies of the measurements will get worse and worse, I promise you that. Peppermint Patty steps up in her Denver Broncos apparel before they decided to change their awesome logo into something without personality. Fight me. She throws the ball
28 feet, 4 inches!
and then punts it.
70 feet and 8 inches!
Bro, she might be the first female player in the NFL. Pigpen steps up wearing his... Wait, why did they make Pigpen a Packers fan? For each of these kids, the announcer has been reading out their full names.
Mr. Franklin Armstrong, Miss Patricia Reichart,
So now it's time to find out what Pigpen's real name is.
Mr. Pig Pen,
His name is Pig Pen. His full name is Pig Pen. His full, legal, Christian name is Pig Pen.
Right away, you start to dwell on the fact that his parents, last named Penn, thought it would be so funny to name their son Pig. That is the funniest thing I've ever seen to come out of the Peanuts canon. Even the announcer guy couldn't believe it when he read it.
Mr. Pig Pen,
It is at this moment, while he is wearing that beautiful golden green helmet, and the revelation of his full and real name, that I've come to the conclusion that Pig Pen is my favorite character in the Peanuts canon.
24 feet and 3 inches!
Come on, bro, represent!
45 feet and 2 inches!
You failed me, Pigpen. It's okay, we'll get you to the gym and you'll be ready for next year.
Maybe he's more of a receiver. I can't imagine many defenders would want to cover him because of, his unique traits. So maybe that's where his strength lies. We should have a punt, pass, and catch contest. Pigpen would smoke everyone. Literally.
Marcy's up next, and... well, that isn't bad for probably being the first time she ever threw a football. Marcy can't punt the football because she's vegan.
Whatever did it do to me? I can't do it.
And then Charles Brown, steps up wearing his Niners helmet, which is causing me to lose respect for him, if there was any to begin with, and he throws it 24 yards downfield. And the kid who's been yelling the whole time is turning blue from all the yelling.
70 feet, 4 inches! Hey, I think that wins it for
So it looks like Charlie Brown is gonna win until Linus beats him by 4 inches. And just when Linus thinks he's about to be going to the Splendid Bowl, what do you think happens?
And our last contestant, Miss Melody Melody.
Melody comes out wearing, of course, and she dominates.
80 feet and 6 inches! Oh no, she's way ahead. Charlie Brown, I was in love with that girl. Oh.
And the Oscar goes to...
Here is your new bike.
An adult! There's an adult in my Charlie Brown team!
Here is your new bike and your ticket to the Super Bowl.
Excuse me, where's the ticket? Like any other Cowboys fan, Melody rubs her win in Linus's face.
So long, Linus. Watch me on TV. I'll be at the Super Bowl.
And the Cowboys would never make it to the Super Bowl again.
They say it can't be done.
Oh yeah, we have to finish this storyline.
Oh yeah, that's right, that was a voiceover. You couldn't see me doing the storyline.
The Birds now have to face the Bisons for the AFL-NFL Championship, and you know what? You already know what happens, and nothing new is given here, so I'm just gonna fast forward this dead horse. Lucy comes up to Snoopy, and I guess she's a big Bisons fan because she's talking smack.
How long can you count on dumb luck? I'll give you some professional advice. Why don't you just have your team run off the field and go home?
Lucy, did you not see the little Tweety Birds knocking down the giant Bisons? I think they're good.
Van Buren laterals to Coolidge, 2 laterals to Harding, and folks, there certainly is a lot of lateraling going on in this stadium today.
There sure is a lot of copying and pasting here today.
That was pretty lucky, Coach. But you have to teach these birds some modern plays. They need up-to-date coaching. And a little weight training wouldn't hurt either.
Listen, there's smack talk, and then there's stupidity. Like saying the Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl every year. No, they won't, Jeffrey, because the Cowboys are bad. Grow up. So the Birds win the game 131-0. I mean...
Final tally 62-0.
Because the people making this thing didn't know how box scores work. And Lucy says...
That was a pretty close squeak, Coach.
What are you talking about?
Lucy gets herself a chirp aid bath, which is not funny. And we don't even see what the championship trophy for this league looks like. The movie ends with Linus and Charlie Brown having a post-mortem on their weird relationship with Melody.
Your sister says you can't go through life doubting everyone. We have to learn to trust each other. I can't stand it.
Oh, the humorous irony.
And that was You're in the Super Bowl, Charlie Brown. Even though he was not in the Super Bowl or at the Super Bowl at all. The election special was called You're Not Elected, Charlie Brown, which was the truth. He was not elected in that. Just call it You're Not in the Super Bowl, Charlie Brown. It would have made a whole lot more sense. This movie is not good, but I'm sure you understand my fascination with it.
To be lazily put together and poorly animated is one thing, but the writing is atrocious, and the editing only extenuates how bad it is. I mean, this story is so short that they had so many long, awkward pauses throughout the thing to hide the fact that this originally would have filled the time allotment that they were given.
I don't know if it's because of rushed development or anything. I couldn't find anything online to talk about the production of this thing, whether it had to be done really quickly, or what the parameters were, or what the NFL was expecting, or if it was in fact rushed. But I mean, watching this thing just makes me feel like they only had 3 weeks to put this thing together. But whatever the case, I love this thing now just as much as I did when I was a kid. It is absolutely hilarious. Not for the intended reasons. You get it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got my own punt, pass, and punt contest to get to.
Mr. Tiberius Jephthah.